The story you're about to hear is real. It is not a story of medals, parades, or history books. It is a story of two young men, friends who found each other in a place far from home, bound not by blood, but by a loyalty forged under fire. It is a story written in the dust of distant lands, carried in worn pockets, whispered in the final hours between battles. Please sit with us now. Let your heart be still, because sometimes the truest stories are the quiet ones, the ones carried on the wind between two souls who understood each other completely. Letter 1. Charlie writes to Tom, "Dear Tom, it's strange, isn't it? How quickly a place like this, so alien and unforgiving at first glance, becomes almost familiar. A twisted sort of normalcy settling over the chaos. The dust, a fine red powder that coats everything, clinging to our throats and our gear. The relentless sun, beating down day after day, bleaching the color from the landscape and leaving a haze that dances on the horizon. The constant rattle of gunfire in the distance, a low, persistent hum that underscores every moment. All of it blurs into something you almost stop actively noticing after a while. A background noise to the more immediate concerns of survival. But tonight, under this ragged sky full of stubborn stars, stars that seem to pierce the darkness with a fierce, unwavering light, it feels different. There's a stillness in the air, a pause in the usual cacophony that makes the silence itself feel heavy with unspoken thoughts. Maybe it's because you're not sitting here next to me, your usual sarcastic commentary absent. No complaints about how the rations taste perpetually like cardboard, dry and tasteless, or how your boots, despite all efforts, never seem to fully dry out, remaining damp and heavy with the clinging mud. Maybe it's because your laughter, that booming, infectious sound that used to cut through the worst of days, a bright spark in the surrounding gloom, feels like an echo now, a phantom sound I can't quite reach, a memory that tugs at the edges of my awareness. I still remember the first day we met, back at that godforsaken camp, a sea of unfamiliar faces and nervous energy. You had that stupid grin on your face, the one you always wore when you were up to something, a mischievous glint in your eyes that usually preceded some minor act of rebellion or a particularly terrible joke. You offered me half your sandwich, a greasy, lukewarm thing, as if that was the most normal thing in the world to do for a complete stranger, someone you just bumped into in the mess hall line. And somehow, just like that, with that simple act of unexpected kindness, we were friends. You taught me how to loosen up, how to find the absurd humor in the grim realities that surrounded us, how to laugh when the world around us made absolutely no damn sense. You reminded me that even here in the mud and the madness, life, in its stubborn, resilient way, could still find a way to sneak in a particularly bad joke that somehow landed, in a smuggled candy bar shared in the dead of night, in a song hummed off-key under a too bright sky, a small act of defiance against the oppressive atmosphere. I'm writing this letter because tomorrow we move out again, deeper into uncertainty, deeper into danger, into territory that the maps only vaguely describe. And there's something heavy in the air tonight, a weight none of us can quite shake, a premonition that settles in your gut and makes the usual bravado feel thin and brittle. Maybe it's just nerves, the collective anxiety of men facing the unknown, or maybe it's something more, a sense that the familiar rhythm of our days is about to break. So just in case, in case something happens out there that I can't undo, something that changes everything irrevocably. I needed to tell you, thank you, Tom, for being my brother in all but blood, the steadfast presence beside me in this chaotic existence, for standing beside me, shoulder to shoulder, when the nights were too long and the days were too hard, when the fear was a cold knot in my stomach and the longing for home was a physical ache, for making this unbearable place feel, if only for a while, like somewhere I belonged, like I wasn't entirely alone in this strange, hostile world. If you ever find yourself back home before me, walking on solid ground under a familiar sky, promise me you'll sit on my porch, that rickety old thing Mom always complains about, and tell my folks a good story, not the whole damn truth maybe, because they worry enough as it is, but something that'll make them smile, something that paints me in a halfway decent light. You always were better with words anyway, weaving tales that could make even the grisliest sergeant crack a smile. Here's to dry boots, a mythical concept out here, cold beer, a dream we both cling to, and better days ahead, a future where the dust settles and the gunfire fades into memory. Your brother, Charlie. Letter 2. Tom writes back to Charlie. Dear Charlie, I don't know if this letter will even reach you, swallowed by the vastness of this God-forsaken land. I don't even know if you're still breathing the same dusty air, in the same dusty stretch of nowhere where we last stood shoulder to shoulder, trying to project an air of nonchalant bravery while secretly pretending we weren't scared out of our damn minds. But I have to try, Charlie. I have to put these words down, even if they never find their way to you. It's quiet tonight, a profound, unsettling quiet that hums in your ears after the storm of a battle, like the world itself is holding its breath, waiting for the next tremor. The fires have burned down to glowing embers, casting long, dancing shadows that play tricks on your eyes. The men are asleep, or pretending to be, their faces etched with a weariness that sleep can barely touch. And here I am, sitting on an overturned crate, the rough wood digging into my backside, trying to put into words something bigger than words usually allow, something that feels too important to leave unsaid. You idiot. You didn't have to thank me, Charlie, not for any of it. You were the one who kept me sane out here, the anchor in the swirling madness. When the shelling started, that deafening roar that makes your bones vibrate and your teeth chatter, and I couldn't stop shaking. The fear, a cold hand gripping my insides. It was your hand clapping my shoulder, a firm, reassuring weight that steadied me, that reminded me I wasn't alone in the terror. When the bad news came, that gut-wrenching telegram from home that shattered a piece of me, leaving a raw, gaping wound, it was you who sat next to me, not saying a damn word, just breathing with me, your presence a silent testament to our shared burden, keeping me from completely breaking apart. You made the unbearable days a little less heavy, a little less endless, a flicker of humanity in the overwhelming bleakness. You made me laugh, Charlie, a genuine gut-busting laugh when all I wanted to do was scream into the empty sky. You reminded me that friendship out here isn't some sentimental notion you earn. It's a brutal necessity, something you forge in the crucible of shared experience, something you survive with. I still carry the stupid watch you gave me, remember? That ridiculous, oversized thing you swore was indestructible, a testament to your unwavering faith in cheap merchandise. It's scratched to hell now, the glass cracked, barely keeps time, the hand spinning with a stubborn disregard for accuracy. But it's still ticking, Charlie, like us, stubborn and scarred, but still damn well standing. Charlie, if you're reading this, wherever you are, under whatever distant sky, know this, you hear me? Know this deep down. If it ever comes down to it, if you don't make it back to that rickety porch before me, I'll be the guy who sits there and tells your folks the best damn stories they've ever heard, tales so tall they'll make their eyes water with laughter. I'll lie through my teeth if I have to, embellish every damn detail, just to see your mom smile, that warm, familiar smile I remember so well, and your dad shake his head in mock disapproval, a twinkle in his eye. And if by some damn miracle, some twist of fate that defies all logic, we both make it back to that dusty porch, drinks are on me, Charlie. First round, second round, every goddamn round until we're old and boring and full of stories no one believes but us. Take care of yourself, you stubborn bastard. Keep your head down, and for God's sake, come home. Always, Tom. Letter 3. Charlie's final letter. Dear Tom, funny thing about promises, isn't it? We make them with such conviction, such unwavering belief, thinking we have all the damn time in the world to keep them, to see them through to the end. Turns out, sometimes time, that relentless, unforgiving bastard, has other plans entirely. We were hit hard yesterday, Tommy, harder than before, a brutal onslaught that shook the very ground beneath our feet, leaving a landscape of twisted metal and shattered earth. The kind of hard that changes everything in an instant, leaving nothing the same. Not the faces around you, not the air you breathe. I caught a piece of it, a stray shard of metal that found its mark. Nothing heroic, nothing worth a damn medal or a letter home bragging about bravery. Just bad luck, wrong place, catastrophically wrong time. They patched me up as best they could in that makeshift aid station under the flickering light of a single lantern. The medic, his face grim and weary, did what he could, his hands moving with a practiced efficiency that spoke volumes about the horrors he'd witnessed. Said the odds aren't great, Tommy. Said I'm bleeding inside and there's not much more they can do here. I don't feel scared, you know. That's the strangest part of all. I thought I would be terrified, my mind racing with regrets and unfinished business. But all I feel is tired, Tommy. Bone-deep tired, the kind of weariness that seeps into your very soul that makes you want to lie back and just let the vast, indifferent sky fold itself around you, a final, silent embrace. I'm writing you this last letter, my hand shaky, the ink blurring on the rough paper, because you deserve it more than anyone. Because if there's anyone in this God-forsaken world who understands how much words can matter, how they can become the last tangible link when everything else falls away into dust and chaos, it's you, my friend. You were my best friend, Tom. The kind of friend most men are lucky to find once in a lifetime, if they're lucky at all. You were the steady hand in the storm, the voice of reason in the madness. You were the one who made this place bearable, Tommy. You were the one who reminded me every damn day with your stubborn optimism and your ridiculous jokes that we were more than just soldiers, more than just cogs in this brutal machine. We were human beings with memories and dreams and a longing for a life beyond the trenches. We were brothers, forged in the fires of this hell. I want you to keep going, no matter what happens here. Keep laughing even when the laughter catches in your throat. Keep fighting not just the enemy, but the darkness that threatens to consume us all. Keep telling the bad jokes, the ones that make everyone groan but secretly bring a smile. Keep humming those stupid songs, the ones that get stuck in your head for days. Keep carrying the memory of all the ones who didn't make it, not as a burden that weighs you down, but as a badge of honor, a reminder of the sacrifices made. And when you sit on my porch someday, because I believe you will, you stubborn bastard, tell my folks I went down swinging, that I didn't give up without a fight. Tell them I wasn't alone in those final moments. Tell them I had a brother with me every step of the way, a bond that even this brutal place couldn't break. Tell them I had you, Tom. I'll be waiting on the other side, Tommy, a cold beer in hand, ready to hear all your ridiculous stories, the tall tales and the embellished truths. Until then, your brother, Charlie. Thank you for listening to Charlie and Tom's story, a story not of glory, but of loyalty, a bond stronger than blood, a story of two young men who found, in the middle of chaos and destruction, something rare and unbreakable, true friendship, a lifeline in the abyss. If this story touched your heart, please leave a comment below. Share your thoughts, your own memories of friendship, or simply a silent moment of reflection for all the friendships born in the hardest of places. Friendships that ask for no medals, but demand unwavering devotion. Subscribe to our channel for more stories like this. Stories of courage found in quiet moments, of love that transcends distance, and the ties that endure beyond all else. Until next time, stay strong, stay kind, and never forget. Some promises are kept not in words etched in stone, but in the lives we carry forward, in the memories we hold dear.